Hey everyone, this is Jen Polson. I'm the founder of Jen Polson Consulting, for those of you that I haven't met yet. And I just wanted to thank you for being here. My team and I are experts at helping people, entrepreneurs, moms, dads, college students. We're experts at helping people overcome blocks in their lives that are holding them back. And if you're not sure what a block is, you may be familiar with something like procrastination, always being late, not like starting a project and not being able to follow it through. Let's see, what else? Getting, like, losing your temper can be a block. Seeing all the negative stuff around you can be a block. So there's lots of different blocks. Even our lack of self-worth can be a block. All kinds. If you guys are recognizing, some of the blocks that you're having, put them down on the feed there so we can address that in a few minutes. But what I wanted to talk to you specifically about today is one block that almost everybody does at some point or another, that can really, really hold us back. And before we talk about that, and before I reveal what that is, I just want to let you know that I'm gonna do some clearing around this issue. So don't worry, I'm not going to bring up the junk and then leave you hanging. We're gonna release it and get it cleared. So anyway, all right. Hey Natalie, thanks for joining. All right, so here it is. One thing that could really be holding you back is complaining. It's probably not a big shocker, but I was listening to an inspirational talk this morning, and that's something that I do every day. I make that a high priority. Always listening to something inspirational, filling myself up at the beginning of every day so that I can show up my best. And actually, I do that because I love myself and I want to be my best. All right, so let's talk about complaining for just a minute. How do you guys feel when, you walk into a room and somebody, just spills out all of their complaints, talks about their job and how much they hate it, and talks about, their marriage and how, all the things that their spouse does wrong, or talks about their kids and all the, the stuff that they're not happy about, complains about the weather. I'm you've been around people like that. It doesn't feel super great. Here's something, that's really interesting, that complaining keeps us from progressing. Okay? And so if we're in that habit of complaining, it keeps us from actually moving forward. And so in this talk that I was listening to, she said that the average person complains 15 to 30 times a day. I thought that seemed kind of low, but that's still, it's still a lot. So I'm going to encourage you to think about, really pay attention and think about what's coming out of your mouth. Are you complaining, about what's going on? And realize, and then make a choice, in that moment. Am I going to keep complaining about this, or am I going to let this go? Hey Darla, hey Katie, thanks for being here. Okay, so complaining keeps us just going around in circles. We just circle around the whole thing over and over and over again. How many people do you know that are stuck in a job, not stuck, who have stayed in a job for 20 years and they've just complained about it for 20 years instead of taking some kind of action? and choosing something different, choosing something that they love. Hey, Angela. Complaining doesn't move you forward, that's for sure. Hey, Ursika. Okay, so the other thing that I learned in this little recording that I was listening to is that the definition of complain is to remain. So that makes a lot of sense. So we stay stuck when we're just complaining about our stuff. So I want you to pay attention, what are you complaining about? Do you walk past the mirror and complain about your hair? Even if you say it in your head, if you have a negative thought about your hair, or do you complain about your finances a lot? Complain that there's never enough money, or complain that the bills are too high, or whatever. Do you complain about not being successful in your business? Do you complain that other people around you, are not making the decisions that you wish they would make? Do you complain about your coworkers, your mother-in-law? I have the most amazing mother-in-law, so I never complain about her. Anyway, so just take an inventory, take an honest inventory of what are the things that you find yourself complaining about. And then, when we become conscious of those habits, that empowers us. That gives us the freedom to choose something different. But a lot of times we just go along in our lives and we're doing the same thing over and over. We're having the same conversations over and over. We're telling the same stories over and over. And it doesn't get us anywhere. We're kind of like zombies, right? So as we become more aware, and as we have that desire to let go of the things that we're complaining about and let go of that negativity in our lives, then it opens us wide up. I don't think I said that right. It opens us wide open to so many more beautiful things that can happen in our lives. Hey, Janica. Hey, Cosette. Hey, Amanda. Change your thoughts, change your life. Yes. And for those of you who know what I do, as far as energy coaching goes, you've heard me say over and over again that, we don't change our thoughts necessarily like switching a light switch, okay? So that's what happens is we have these hidden subconscious beliefs that are creating like the things that are happening in our lives. Okay, so if we are always complaining, and we can't seem to stop, or we always see the negativity and we can't seem to see anything good, that's not because you're, messed up, but what's going on is that there are these hidden subconscious beliefs that are playing out, that are saying to you, well, you're not worthy and deserving of success. You're not worthy and deserving of being heard or being seen. And those little glitches in our belief system have big consequences. And so as much as I would love to say, yep, just change your thoughts, but what really we're saying is change those hidden subconscious beliefs that are negative. And that's really difficult to do on your own. It takes a long time to do that on your own, but that's why there's people like me in the world who love what I do. And I want to help as many people as I can realize that it's not that difficult to change those beliefs. And when we change those limiting beliefs that we have that are really hidden deep inside of us, then it's so much easier to change the way we think. And then it's so much easier to change what's going on in our lives. So there's definitely like this process there that needs to happen. And so one of the things that I recommend to my clients is as part of supporting, like changing your thoughts and changing, your whole life and your belief system, is really taking time for yourself. Really make sure that you're connecting to the divine every day, whatever that looks like for you. Really make sure that you're like paying attention. Because if we're not paying attention to what's going on in our lives, and then we're not paying attention to what thoughts we're having, then it's really, we don't even know we need help, Okay, so I'm feeling a lot of heavy energy here. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and get some stuff cleared around this, because I can feel it like in my throat. So everybody take a nice big breath. And if you guys happen to have some lavender oil with you, get some on your throat. And that's something that you can do, like every time you hear yourself complain, get some lavender on your throat to connect you to positive communication and positively expressing yourself. That's going to be really, really powerful. Okay, that feels better. It feels like the complaining, for whoever's on this call or on this Facebook Live, and whoever's going to be watching it, it feels like there's a lot of fear of not being heard underlying the complaining. So sometimes we grow up in a family situation where maybe we didn't get the attention we needed, and I'm not putting any blame on any parents. We perceive things the way we perceive things as children. And so sometimes when we perceive that we're not getting what we need, then we have to be louder. And sometimes if we can get that attention from the adults in our lives when we complain about something. And I feel like there's a lot of underlying root systems in that, in the belief systems of those listening to this call. So take a nice big breath on that. I want to clear everyone's timeline. And what that means for those of you who are new is we're going to just clear those experiences that happened in childhood. We're going to clear the energy of that perception that you weren't heard, weren't seen, weren't valued. And we just want to release that, because that's a false perception. Even if you were in, it doesn't matter what the situation you were in that created the perception, the situation's past and gone. Okay, so now we're adults, and it's time to let go of that past stuff and walk away free from all of those old perceptions. Okay, so let's take a breath, and we're just going to integrate forgiving, like just forgiving whoever in our lives that we need to forgive, including ourselves. Okay, so take a big breath on that. Hey, Janica, thanks. Okay, and then there's some generational attachments around complaining. And so what I kind of picture in my mind with that is like, the grandparents getting together, having conversations with, I don't know, their friends, and talking about how bad the weather was, or how bad the growing season was, or how, and not even meaning to start conversations that way, in a negative way, but it really feels super generational. And so we just want to release all of those attachments to any of those generational patterns of negative communication and of complaining. So take a big breath on that. Let's get rid of that. And if you have some white fir essential oil, just get that on your upper chest here. Okay, good. see. I'm just kind of tuning in to see where we need to go next. Okay, so I want to remind everyone that it's good to stop complaining, but what you need to add with it is like replacing it with the positive things, like with gratitude. So when you walk out and you see a cloudy sky, instead of saying, oh man, I wish the sun was out shining, like what can you be grateful for as you walk out in that cloudy sky? And voice that. Like start voicing those gratitude things. Because can you imagine like how that's going to influence your children to have them hear you like see the good that's all around? They're going to learn how to see the good. I love that. Hey Tracy, thanks for being on. Okay. Our words are so powerful. So take a breath. I want to connect everybody up to really positive gratitude words and language and communication. So take a breath on that. And I also want to clear some fears or doubts about making that transition, making that shift from negative to positive. Because the people around you are going to wonder what's going on, and sometimes you'll feel like, people are trying to pull you back into, hearing their victim story or complaining about this or bringing up the past or bringing up someone else's faults or, all of that stuff. Be really mindful of that. Don't allow yourself to get sucked into it. Just state, I always tell my clients, it's okay to, leave the conversation. It's okay to excuse yourself to go to the restroom or to go get a drink or whatever it is, if you're at a party or whatever. It's okay to allow yourself permission to remove yourself if the people around you aren't ready to shift into a more positive place. And that doesn't have to come from a judgmental place at all, okay? It just means that, you're trying to make a positive shift in your life, and the more you do that, the more positive people will start coming into your life as well. So that's really fun. Okay, so let's see. Just take another breath. Let's just release any fear, worry, and doubt. Let's connect you up to your divine purpose, to your message. Let's connect you to just being an instrument in God's hands, like however that looks like for you. Whatever your purpose is on this life, just doing it with like that full intention of showing up in every way that God intended you to, and not being afraid of that. Okay? Just take a big breath on that. And then I just want to send some love and light out to those who are grieving, to those who feel like they're in a situation where they're stuck, to those who are lacking some hope and lacking some vision for their lives. I just want to send you some love and light so that you can like break through that. You can be free from whatever's been holding you back and start moving forward. And if you're feeling like you need some extra support on that, that's what my team and I are here for. Like I've been in that place. I've been in that place where I was like, how am I going to change? How do I get out of this cycle of living the same day over and over and over again? How do I let go of my resentment? How do I let go of my fear? How do I be more confident? How do I, speak my truth? And I'm still learning a lot of those things myself, but that's just part of life. We're always in a process of learning on deeper and deeper levels, but I always have a coach. I can't do it by myself. And so between my coach and God, Okay, just remember that. Between my coach and God, I can do anything. God first. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. God definitely first, and then a coach that will help me see myself in ways that I can't, because my stuff gets in the way. And it's the same for you. And so if you're looking for some support, please reach out to me. Message me. Get on my website and request a call if you want to talk about, what we have to offer. We have, coaching programs that can get you through all of this junk. They can get you through these old patterns that you want to get rid of, and we can get you through it quick. And it's not going to be an experience where you're hashing up all of your old junk. That's not necessary. Okay, so anyway, okay, so for those of you who are coming to our Success Summit in September, sorry, I'm lacking a little bit of water. So for those of you who are coming to our Success Summit in September before the doTERRA convention, I'm so excited to tell you that I have the men's t-shirt design. Michelle McCauley created it last night, and I'm really tempted to show it to you, but maybe I'll post it later. I don't know yet. But the t-shirts, we're going to have men's t-shirts and women's t-shirts, and everyone that attends the summit is going to get a t-shirt. So if you haven't had a chance to sign up yet and you want to come and spend a couple hours with me, with Hillary, with Tina, with Christine, we're going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be super powerful. We're going to be teaching you how to use your oils to just break through emotional blocks, to stay energetically protected. And you don't have to be a doTERRA person to attend this. If you're interested in learning how to just have, get through some energetic blocks, we'd love to have you. And there's Michelle McCauley, and she designs my t-shirts for me. So y'all should check her out. Michelle, put like your Etsy link on there. But anyway, we'd love to give you a free t-shirt for coming to our summit. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great day.